What happens when someone is judged solely by appearances, and the truth reveals a story far deeper than anyone expected? At a bustling fitness club, a manager's decision to ban a black man wearing a MAGA hat sparks a cascade of events that no one saw coming. Little did the manager know, this seemingly ordinary man was not only the club's most loyal supporter, but also its biggest sponsor. Behind the calm demeanor of the man they dismissed lay a journey of resilience, generosity, and quiet strength. Let's delve into this story of assumptions, redemption, and the surprising truths that unfolded. David Harrison was a man who commanded attention wherever he went. He was in his early 40s, tall with a strong build, and carried himself with an air of quiet confidence. His sharp eyes, warm smile, and calm demeanor often made people feel at ease. David had worked hard for his success, coming from a modest background, and now owned several businesses across the country. Despite his wealth, he was known for his humility and his generous donations to causes that uplifted underserved communities. On most days, David dressed casually, blending in like anyone else. However, there was one accessory he often wore that caused mixed reactions: a red "Make America Great Again" hat. For David, the hat wasn't about politics. It was a personal reminder of resilience, ambition, and his belief in building a better future. But not everyone saw it that way. It was a sunny afternoon when David decided to visit a fitness club he had quietly been supporting for years. The gym, called Iron Elite, was a place he had helped grow from a struggling local establishment to one of the most popular fitness centers in the area. Although David had poured substantial funding into the gym, he had never revealed his identity as the club's biggest sponsor. He wanted the management and staff to focus on their work rather than treat him differently. David walked into the gym wearing a simple hoodie, jeans, and his signature MAGA hat. He had heard some complaints about the club's atmosphere and wanted to see for himself how things were running. The gym was bustling with activity, weights clanging, treadmills humming, and music pumping in the background. As David walked in, he noticed a young woman behind the front desk eyeing him suspiciously. Her name tag read Amber, and she appeared to be in her mid-20s with a stern expression. "Excuse me, sir," Amber called out. "You can't just walk in here. Do you have a membership?" David smiled politely. "I do. I'm just here to check things out." Amber's eyes narrowed as she glanced at his hat. "I'm going to need to see some ID." David reached into his pocket and handed her his membership card. Amber inspected it, her expression remaining cold. "Okay, you're in the system, but you might want to think twice before walking in here with that." She pointed at his hat. David raised an eyebrow. "Is there a problem with my hat?" Amber hesitated, then said firmly, "We don't tolerate offensive symbols or clothing here. I'm going to have to ask you to leave." David was taken aback but remained calm. "I've been a member here for years. I'm not sure how my hat qualifies as offensive." Amber crossed her arms. "We have a diverse clientele, and we don't want anything that could make people uncomfortable. It's gym policy." David nodded slowly. "Is that written in your policy manual? Because I've read it, and I don't recall seeing anything like that." Amber's cheeks flushed. "Look, I don't make the rules. You can either take off the hat or leave." David sighed and removed the hat, placing it in his pocket. He decided not to argue further, but made a mental note to address the issue later. He continued his workout, observing the staff and the overall environment. He noticed Amber whispering to another employee, pointing in his direction. Soon the manager, Rick Spencer, approached him. Rick was in his late 30s, tall and stocky, with an authoritative demeanor. "Sir," Rick began, "we've received complaints about your presence here. I think it's best if you leave for today." David stared at him, incredulous. "Complaints? About what?" Rick hesitated. "Your attire. It's causing a disturbance." David stood up, his voice steady but firm. "I've been nothing but respectful since I walked in. This is a public gym, and I'm a paying member." Rick shook his head. "Look, I don't want to escalate this, but if you don't leave, I'll have to call security." David didn't want to create a scene, so he grabbed his belongings and left. As he walked out, he couldn't help but feel a mix of anger and disappointment. He had supported this gym for years, only to be treated like an outsider. The following day, David scheduled a meeting with the gym's board of directors. He had never attended their meetings in person, preferring to stay behind the scenes, but this time was different. When he walked into the conference room, Rick and Amber were seated alongside the other board members. Their faces paled when they saw David. "Good afternoon," David began, his voice calm but commanding. "I'm David Harrison, the primary financial sponsor of Iron Elite." The room fell silent. Rick's jaw dropped, and Amber looked like she wanted to disappear. David continued, "I've been funding this gym for the past 5 years, ensuring that it thrives and provides opportunities for the community. Yesterday, I was banned from my own investment because of a hat I chose to wear." Rick stammered, "Mr. Harrison, I didn't realize." David held up a hand to stop him. "It's not about who I am. It's about how you treat people. I've heard complaints about discrimination and poor management, and now I see why. A fitness club should be a place of inclusivity and respect, not judgment and prejudice." Tears welled up in Amber's eyes as she whispered, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know." David's expression softened. "I don't hold grudges, but this experience has shown me that changes are needed here, starting with training for all staff on how to treat customers with dignity." In the weeks that followed, David worked closely with the board to implement new policies and training programs. Rick was removed from his position as manager, and Amber was given a second chance after showing genuine remorse and a willingness to learn. David continued to support the gym, but this time he was more involved, ensuring it became a place where everyone felt welcome. Word spread about the incident, and many admired David's grace and determination to bring about positive change. He became a symbol of resilience and leadership, proving that true strength lies in how we treat others, regardless of differences. And as for the red hat, David still wore it proudly, but now people saw it not as a political statement, but as a testament to his unwavering belief in building bridges and creating a better world. That's the story, friends. I hope you enjoyed it. It was a pleasure sharing it with you all. Don't forget to comment below and let me know where you're watching from. It's always fun to see the global reach of these stories. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button for more amazing stories, tips, and tricks. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.